Hello, my dears. It's Mrs. Ward, and we are going to read chapter 20 of Sparrowhawk Red. So, this is like the action packed part of the book where he has an idea, something to do with the plant that Soledad told him about, and he's going to go back to the drug compound. So, let's see. Chapter 20. Ricky picked up Hernando's bike, hoping his angry shove hadn't broken anything. He jumped on and headed for Mariposa. No longer did the tires feel flat. If the men wanted food, he'd give them food they would never forget. Topping the last rise in the road, he searched for Soledad. The familiar squatty shape was gone from beside the highway. As he rode, he looked for her. Not that he really cared, of course. It would just have been fun to explain why he was back. She'd twist a gut laughing. Ricky still had the drug smuggler's money, but he had no idea where to find the restaurant San Miguel. This was not where he and Soledad had eaten, nor could he remember the food order given to him. A guard had been squeezing his throat and holding a gun to his head. Not exactly ideal conditions for listening. Several times Ricky stopped and asked directions. The final turn took him up a short side street. The restaurant San Miguel was little more than a small cafe. When Ricky entered the restaurant, the proprietor looked up. His head tilted back so he could look through glasses slipped low on his nose. He spoke like a stuck record. Go on, go on, go on, he sputtered, motioning Ricky away. The man's pencil-thin mustache wiggled like a caterpillar when he spoke. Ricky felt new courage, maybe because he had nothing more to lose. Or was it because he felt like a special person and no one had the right to treat him this way? I'm here to get food for Rancho Camacho, he said loudly. Should I ride back and tell them you said no? The man's eyes bulged behind his thick glasses. He looked fearfully around to see who might have heard. No, don't do that, he stammered in a loud whisper. I was expecting Hernando. Yeah, well, Hernando isn't feeling good. Okay, what food do you want? Ricky tried to remember what had been ordered. There had been burritos and tacos, but how many of each? Well, what do you want? Repeated the man. I think I want 5 burritos and 8 tacos. You think? The waiter looked at him with curiosity and concern. Ricky nodded, formulating his plan. Oh, they wanted extra salsa, lots and lots of salsa. For your happiness and good health, I hope you're right. The man shuffled back to the small kitchen. Shortly, he shuffled back, carrying the order in a brown paper bag. That is 46,500 pesos. Ricky paid the man. Gracias, he said, stuffing the change safely in his pocket. In that bag are 5 burritos and 8 tacos, repeated the man carefully, and mucha salsa. I pray to the Virgin de Guadalupe, to Saint Rosalia, and to Sainta Rita that you have remembered well. Ricky hoped so too as he pedaled hard toward the highway. The bag of food slid around in the rattling basket. He searched for Soledad as he slowed to catch his breath. Where was she? Again he thought of his plan. Maybe it was just as well Soledad didn't know. A mile from town, he spotted the arrow lead. Riding through the ditch and out into the desert, he stopped, grabbing the meal bag, and dropped the bicycle near the plant. It was too frightful to think what would happen if this plan didn't work. Quickly, he knelt. Ricky wished he'd asked Soledad which part of the plant was the most potent. With a sharp edge of rock, he dug down to the roots. One by one, he opened the wrapped tacos and burritos. Oh no, he wiped the roots against his pants and grated white pulp in among the lettuce and sauce. On each, he tried to squeeze some juice. It was doubtful the men would notice anything. Battery acid probably wouldn't change the taste of Mexican salsa much. It was hot enough to take paint off a barn. So do you see what he's doing? He's putting part of the plant that he knows will make them sick into their food. Finishing, he ran to the bicycle and headed toward Rancho Camacho. No longer did the same raw fear weaken his muscles and take away his breath. No longer did failure numb his thoughts. Instead, a cautious anger possessed him. It helped to think of Soledad's cousin Santos and what the drug men had done to him. How many other street children had that happened to? Dad had been right. The children weren't rateros. Again, Ricky spotted the wasp nest. Several cars had flattened it. Only a few wasps still buzzed nearby. Ricky rode a wide berth around them. The agent had left. Where had he gone? After leaving the main highway, Ricky pedaled rapidly. Soon there would be no turning back. For a moment, approaching the guard, his heart pounded faster. The guard did not speak. He swung open the gate with a dull, monotonous stare. Gracias, Ricky hollered, smiling. The guard scowled. Ricky headed down the long hill into the compound. He focused intently on the large equipment shed. How could a huge drug operation like this be run right under the nose of the Mexican police? It seemed like everyone in Mariposa knew about it. As he pedaled the last 100 yards, Ricky drew in a deep breath. A 1-ton truck sat parked near the side door of the big storage shed. He rode along the far side to keep the bicycle hidden. Making sure nobody was watching, he picked up the bag and walked deliberately around the truck and into the open building. The guard jerked his machine gun up, then relaxed. I was thinking maybe you wouldn't come back, he sneered. Then I'd have had to kill you. Ricky glanced around as he walked up and handed over the bag of tacos and burritos. He also dug out the change. Both workers removed their leather gloves and walked over to eat. Diego, one yelled. Shortly, the second guard appeared by the big door and sauntered in. Ricky turned quickly to leave. Esperate, demanded the first guard. Ricky stopped obediently, hoping they couldn't see him shaking. Did you get salsa? Si, Ricky said, mucha. Carefully, the guard dug through the bag. I told you 6 burritos and 8 tacos, he snapped. Are you deaf? Forcing his answer, Ricky looked at the man straight. That's what I told the man at Restaurant San Miguel. Isn't that what he sent? I think you ate one, the man snarled. I think I should cut you open and get it. Ricky stepped back. I didn't. Honest, I didn't. The man swung his machine gun up. If you aren't gone in 5 seconds, I'll shoot you. 1, 2. Ricky turned and raced for the door. 3, 4, 10 feet left to go. 5, yelled the guard. Ricky dived out the door. A machine gun burst, broke the air. Ricky landed hard in the dirt, scraping the skin on both arms. He waited to feel the bullets shred his body. Nothing. Nor did he hear any bullets fly the dirt or hit the dirt. Crazed laughter flooded out of the building. No longer able to see the men, Ricky picked himself up and ran around the truck to the bicycle. He jumped on the bike, then stopped. No. Leaving was not his plan, not on the bicycle anyway. He wouldn't run. A hatred worse than anything he'd ever known held him there. If this whole thing didn't work, it wouldn't be because he'd quit. These were the people who had killed Mom, possibly the very same men. The next laugh was his, Ricky thought. Getting off the bicycle, he crawled up onto the truck's running board and waited. All right, we'll see what happens next.